Hey, what's up? Well, I'm finally back again, back with another video. Since we went to the house, I was unable to make videos other than us cutting the grass. And so what I'd like to start out saying is, of course, September is over. Welcome October. I'm wearing my pink instead of orange and Halloween because the way I see it is that because 3/4 of September, or at least 3/4 of September, are technically summer, the first 3/4 of October, meaning the Libra part, so to speak, are really not Halloween, or they shouldn't be so Halloween themed. You know, I think it's ridiculous that they start putting their Halloween stuff out when you're still in August, if not July in some cases. But I really don't think of the first 20 days of October as being so Halloween themed. I think of it more as the pink theme. You know, this is the month of the pink tourmaline and the breast cancer awareness. And if you notice, I have a new Texas necklace on a stretch lace, and there is a long story behind this, okay? We sort of missed out on the rodeo this year for the simple reason that we needed to go to our new house and do some things there. And so we missed out on the rodeo that we would normally have gone to this past week. And, you know, I'd been thinking, they canceled the rodeo in 2020 because of that stupid coronavirus thing, COVID, and all that. They canceled the rodeo. Okay, but last year was the first year that they had it again. It was called Back in the Saddle. Okay, so I went to the rodeo this past year. In 2021 was my first year back into the rodeo. And that year I had a lot of fun, They worked me to death, but I still had fun doing it. Well, this year I decided that we did not need to participate in that rodeo for the simple reason that we needed to go to our new house and take care of things over there. And so we sort of missed out on it. It was a bummer. We only went to one night of the cook-off and one night of the rodeo, which I picked the best night. And I was thinking about how because of this, we didn't get to see Mars in the sky at the rodeo grounds. We got to see the moon every year at some point during the lunar phase. And we got to see Venus last year. And we saw Jupiter this year. And of course, the reason we didn't see Mars last year is because it has a 2-year cycle. And so you pretty much see it every other year. And so it was really bright in 2020. That was one of the best oppositions, as they call it. And what that means is that like a full moon, it rises around sunset and sets around sunrise. Okay, so this year, Mars is coming back. And unfortunately, we didn't really do the rodeo. But during this part of the year, it's rising around midnight, like a 3rd quarter moon. It sort of goes backwards through the lunar phase, and that's how you can tell how much opposition it has to the Earth. Okay, so I couldn't find Mars, and I was thinking how sad it was that I would never look up in the sky again and notice Mars, it may have been there in 2018, but I wasn't really paying attention. And so 2020 was the year of the COVID thing. If only they'd had the rodeo that year, we could have seen it then, 2 years ago. Okay, but I was thinking about that, and I know that kind of an OCD thought that doesn't really matter to anyone but me. So I was really feeling sad, and we were just leaving the rodeo for the last time probably ever in our lives that night, just walking the rodeo grounds after midnight, one of the few people still there. pretty much closed them down because we only got to go to that one performance. You see, when you have to pay for it instead of volunteering and getting it free, you can't go to as many. And so we were leaving after midnight, and I was thinking how Mars was probably in the sky. And wouldn't you know, I was looking at the sky and there were a few clouds, and I was thinking, oh man, it's probably hiding in a cloud. And so I kind of stopped looking for it. I saw Jupiter and I could see Saturn, even though it's small. And so I looked at the ground, the fairgrounds, basically. And I looked down and I found this red Texas earring. Here's the best state in the best country in the world. And I saw this lone earring that some poor woman lost. And I thought, I could possibly make that into a necklace pendant, even if I have to use a stretch lace until I get a chain that can go through the bail, or with a good enough bail for this. In the meantime, I don't mind having a stretch lace. Okay, so I saw this red Texas earring on the ground. And then I looked up at the sky. Lo and behold, there was that golden yellow-orange star in the sky, that bright orange, non-twinkling star, which I know to be Mars. So I saw Mars in the sky, clear as could be, for the first time, ever, because I hadn't really been thinking about it. I didn't really care about that until the year 2020, when I saw it so bright that October night. And I thought, there is Mars. There is the planet where we have all these rovers, where Elon Musk would like to send somebody within the next 5 years. And it coincided with the moment that I found this red Texas earring that I decided to make into a necklace. And so I looked up in the sky and saw the red planet, which isn't actually red. And I thought, that's a sign. That is a sign. My last memory of the rodeo, perhaps ever again for the rest of my life, will be us walking the fairgrounds after midnight, finding this and seeing Mars in the sky. Finally, I was able to see it. Maybe it got out of the clouds, or maybe the clouds moved, or whatever. But I clearly saw Mars at the rodeo grounds. And I know I shouldn't have spent 8 minutes talking about that, but even if I never wear this very much, this red Texas necklace, I want to always remember that night when I saw Mars in the sky to the east at the rodeo grounds, which might be our last memory of the rodeo ever, because once we move, we won't be able to go there anymore. And of course, as my dad gets older and even less interesting, more boring, he probably won't want to take me anywhere, let alone there. So just wanted to document that memory. I want to say like September 24th or something like that. Yeah. So the day after the autumn equinox. Yeah. So here we are in October. It's starting to feel like fall in the mornings, but then the rest of the day it warms up. And I'm glad to be back in Texas. Perhaps one of the first people on Mars will be a Texan. Who knows? But I'll go ahead and end this, and perhaps I'll go somewhere, but I'm a little bit scared, because my sister got in a wreck, and then her boyfriend wrecked her truck, and so there's been a lot of wrecks in the family, and I really wouldn't want to be another one. So I'm kind of scared to drive, but I'd like to run my car. I'm just scared. I really don't know what to do. So I'll go ahead and post this video to say that I like this necklace, and I'm glad to be back in Texas until we move.